My name is Brian Pierce. I'm with Well Day for Congress's campaign to replace Gary Peters. Today is Thursday, November 5th. We're outside of Gary's office here in Troy, Michigan. Gary, on Saturday, it looks like, will have the opportunity to vote no for a nationalized health care. If you had the opportunity to sit down with Gary right now, what would you tell him?
Well, first of all, I'd like to tell Gary that he's our representative and he's done a poor job of representing what the people in his district want. He's voting along his party lines before even reading these bills and not representing us. He's representing the Democratic Party and coming back and trying to convince us that what he's doing is best for us. We're all adults here. We're all able to make up our own minds, and he's supposed to take our wishes to Congress, not vice versa. Second of all, there's a lot of things in this bill that has absolutely nothing to do with health care. Congress, the United States government, does not need direct and immediate access to my checking and savings accounts. They don't need copies of my income tax forms, and all of these need to be pulled out of that bill. Anything that doesn't directly have to do with health care needs to be pulled out of that bill. And let's just concentrate on covering the people that aren't covered instead of changing the coverage for everyone who already is and happy.
Thank you very much. If you could state your name.
Diane.
On Saturday, Gary Peters is going to have the opportunity to vote no against the nationalized health care. If you had the opportunity to have a conversation with Gary, what would you tell him, sir?
Well, I think it's an insult to Americans that it takes 2,000 pages to write a bill that apparently not too many people can understand, which is obviously going to raise our taxes, eliminate our freedoms, and will eliminate choices that we make. I'm totally against the bill. It's going to reduce the payments of monies to the Medicare individuals, and I think it's just a scam, and it's an insult again to the American people that this is even being considered. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I see you got the Paul Wellday shirt on. You're out here November 5th, protesting, if you will, Gary's vote against the nationalized health care. If you could have an opportunity to talk with Gary, what would you tell him regarding his upcoming vote for nationalized health care?
I'd tell him that I really like my health care. I know there are things that are wrong with it. It's not perfect. The healthcare system in the United States, I know, is not perfect, which is why I wrote, fix it if it's broken. And there are things about our system that are broken, but I don't want them taking my health care away. I just finished reading a novel about the early Soviet Union, and this is starting to remind me of that. I don't want my government telling me how and when I can take care of my health. I think this is extremely important. My daughter's about to get married, and so I'm expecting grandchildren one of these days, and I feel like I'm out here protecting their rights.
Well, thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. If you, ma'am, had the opportunity to talk with Gary Peters, what would you tell him?
I'd tell him, first of all, being a veteran and my husband being a retired military, that we do not want to go into this kind of a healthcare system, and that we fought for our liberties and for freedom for all in America, and I resent the fact that they want to turn this into a socialistic type of country.
Thank you, ma'am. We have a lot of folks, a big vote for nationalized health care. It sounds like it's going to be this Saturday. And so if you could have Gary's ear for just a minute, keeping in mind that Gary's received about $1.3 million from Nancy Pelosi and Charlie Rangel and her most liberal colleagues in Washington, what would you tell Gary Peters?
I would tell him that the role of government is not to participate in the economy. I think every single time that has happened, it's been a complete disaster. And now we're not talking about something as little as the USPS or Social Security, which are a big deal, but we're talking about 1/6 of our economy. And that has disaster for everybody written all over it. And I think we need people who understand that.
All right, thank you. If you could just say your name.
Oh, sure. My name is Brian. It's my wife Lauren, and our 2 kids here.
All right, great. If you had an opportunity to talk to Gary, what would you tell him?
My name is Jim Ayers. I'm from Waterford. And what I would tell Gary is what I've been trying to tell him in writing for a number of months now, starting back before cap and trade legislation was on the floor. And he blithely ignored everything I told him about cap and trade and how I felt about that and what negative effects that would have on the Michigan economy and the auto industry in particular. And I've been sending him the same kind of messages on the healthcare issue. We can't afford it. It's stripping all of the benefits that rightfully belong to seniors and giving them to God knows who else is out there, some unnamed, uninsured. The responses I get from him are form letters. Matter of fact, I got the same letter, exact same letter from him under two separate names on the same day. So I know they're form letters. I know that he's not actually paying attention to what he's being told and what his constituency is telling him. And I can only hope that he'll remember all of this when it comes election time next year.
Thank you.
You're welcome.